This is me, and this is my new hardcore world, where I will attempt to survive 100 days in survival hardcore. One Minecraft day is 20 minutes, meaning I will have to play for over 33 hours in this Minecraft world. But remember, this is hardcore, so one mistake could end it all. I don't know how hard or easy this challenge is going to be, so make sure you stick around with me on this journey so we can see how far we can go. Let's get started. We start our YouTube journey on day 25, where I collected sand and spruce wood to finish my house. On day 26, I spent the whole day looking for glowstone in the nether so I could have a substantial light source. On day 27, I built up the frame of my house. Firstly, I used the spruce wood I gathered to make my floor. I then used an iron door so that zombies wouldn't break down a wooden door. And then I lit up the ceiling so that no mobs would spawn inside. And then I filled in the windows with glass. And by the end of day 27, I had a nice cozy house that would last me for many days in this hardcore world. As I had just finished the frame of my house, I used some glowstone, leaves, and trapdoors to decorate the outside of my house to make it look a bit more appealing, and I did this all around my house. I also placed a few trapdoors on the front of my house to give the build a bit of depth and the stone bricks a bit of colour. On day 29, I started on the inside of my house. Firstly, I built up a large storage area, as that's one of the essential things you need in Minecraft. I then also moved my mini smelters inside so that they wouldn't be taking any space up outside. On day 30, I went out to find some cows to kill for leather, as I wanted to put item frames on my chest. However, I didn't really have much luck with finding cows, so I just ended up killing a bunch of horses instead. For all of day 31 and most of day 32, I spent both these days moving all my items into my chests so that they were sorted so I wouldn't lose anything and everything was organised. For the rest of day 32, I did some enchanting because I wanted to get a silk touch pickaxe. My first few enchantments were pretty bad, however, on the second pickaxe enchantment, I managed to get myself that amazing silk touch pickaxe. On day 33, I decided to dive into a different realm, the nether. I decided to do this because I needed some blaze rods, eventually for Eye of Enders to fight the Ender Dragon. But as soon as I entered the fortress, I got quickly attacked by some of the skeletons and blazes. By this point, I had actually realised how dangerous this could be, and how I might actually lose my world in the nether. But luckily, with my sharpness 4 sword and my shield, I was able to take out the wither skeletons and the blazes and get away without taking too much damage. As I was killing some more blazes, I got ambushed by 2 wither skeletons, and by this point, I was panicking. My health was dropping and I had nowhere to run, so I quickly had to block myself in, but to my surprise, one of the wither skeletons dropped their heads. This skull, along with 2 others and 4 soul sand, would allow me to eventually spawn the wither so I could get a nether star and craft a beacon. On day 34, I was planning to leave. However, as I was leaving, I got ambushed by many wither skeletons and blazes. This got me backed into a corner, and it was the scariest I had felt on this world. However, I don't know how I got away, but I did, on 1 heart, and I was luckily able to live another day on this world and not lose this world. From days 35 through to 40, I cleared a space, I expanded my platform, and I started my villager trading hall build. This was because I needed books for my armor and tools so that I could have the best tools and armor in the game, so I'd have the best chance of surviving the 100 days. By the end of day 40, I had a working villager trading hall. However, I still needed a place to breed my villagers, so that's what I did for day 41 and 42. By day 43, I was able to move my villagers into the villager breeder so that they could get bred together. And that's what I did for day 43 and 44. On day 45, I raided the villagers' hay bales so that I could make wheat and then into bread, and then I gave this bread to the villagers so that they would breed and make little baby villagers, so I would have more villagers to put in my villager trading hall. After I'd done lots of building on the surface, on day 46 I went down into the caves to do some mining. I found lots of ore, including iron, redstone, coal, lapis, and even some diamonds. By the time day 50 came around, I was back on the surface, and I had so many ores that I had to mine them. But this took me 2 whole days to do, but it was worth it as I became very rich and I had over a stack of diamonds altogether now. During the day of day 52, I cleared up my area and made room for a big farm that I was planning to build. This is because I would soon need many carrots and potatoes so that I could trade them with villagers for emeralds so I can get good enchants. I worked through both the day and the night of day 52 to day 54 so that I could get this farm finished. On day 55, as I was lighting up my area, I had found the remains of an iron golem. This iron golem I knew had been fighting with me to protect me through the nights of day 52, 53 and 54, so I knew I had to make a memorial for it. I grabbed an item frame and some signs so that I could lay the remains of the iron golem down to rest. R.I.P. Fallen Soldier. You will be remembered for as long as I survive in this world, and all of the viewers will remember you too. On day 57, I started creating some animal pens. This was because I wanted some animals in case I needed food or any loot from the animals in the future. By day 59, I was able to start filling my animal pens, and this took so long. It took me 2 whole days to transfer some animals to my animal pens, and I started with a sheep, and then a pig, and then 6 chickens. Don't ask me why it was 6, I don't know why either, it was a nightmare doing this, but I had 6 in the end. I then got another pig, so that I had 2 to breed. Then I found another sheep, and took it back, so I had 2 to breed. And after many minutes of searching, I found a group of 4 cows which I brought back. On day 61, I bred all my animals, and my villagers as well. I spent the whole of day 62 piglin trading in the nether, because I thought I'd be able to get some easy ender pearls. However, I was unsuccessful and didn't get any ender pearls in a whole stack of gold. On day 63, I had a mishap with their pigmen, where I accidentally hit one, so it made every pigman in the area angry at me. Luckily, I was able to block myself in and kill them easily, but this could have been very sketchy if I hadn't have been safe. On day 64, I made some slow falling potions with the phantom membranes that I'd collected earlier in the season. I needed these potions that if the dragon hit me when I'm fighting, then I wouldn't have taken any fall damage and I wouldn't die. I also made some strength 2 potions so that I could do more damage against the dragon and the wither to make the fights easier and to give me a better chance of survival. On day 65, I travelled over to the warped forest so that I could get some ender pearls. I built myself a little shelter to be safe from the enderman, and I killed the enderman in the warped forest. As I was killing endermen, I found a bastion, but I knew that I wasn't worthy enough of conquering it yet. I was collecting ender pearls all the way into day 66, and as I finished with a stack of 16 ender pearls, I decided to make my way back home, as that would be enough for the end portal. I got up bright and early on day 67 as I knew it would be a big day. I crafted the Eye of Enders, some fireworks, and got a pumpkin head, and I set off to find the end portal. I threw my last Eye of Ender, and it went straight down, so I knew if I just dug straight down, I'd be in the stronghold, and there it was. I spent most of day 68 exploring the stronghold, but I had finally found the end portal. I broke the silverfish spawner, and I put the Eyes of Ender in, and I jumped in, and there I was, in the end realm. I got to the surface, and I took a look around, and instantly I could see the Ender Dragon, and he looked more fierce than ever. One by one, I took out all the end crystals with my bow, until there were none left, and the dragon could no longer heal. After all the end crystals were gone, the dragon swooped down and sat on its pedestal. I got under its tail and was able to deal a massive amount of damage. The dragon came down for a second time, and I was able to deal even more damage to almost kill it. The dragon came down for a third time, and I was able to finish it off with the last blow. Here I stood, watching the dragon dissolved in front of me, all his XP dropping to the floor, and I was victorious. I collected all the XP, and I also collected the dragon egg as a trophy. I built up to the end city portal, and I threw my end pearl in. And to my surprise, I was so lucky, there was a ship right where I spawned. I took out the shulker on top, and also underneath, and then I got what I wanted. My own pair of wings, the Elytra. On day 70, I decided to come back home and jump back into the portal, and I was back on my island where I just defeated the Ender Dragon. Just as I got my elytra, I used this opportunity to fly around my island and take the first look at my base from above, and I was really proud of how far we have come in 70 days. I spent day 21 getting 3 potato and carrot villagers so that I could soon trade my potatoes and carrots for emeralds. On day 72, I harvested both my carrots and potatoes to get some emeralds, and as you can see, by the end of day 72, I had enough emeralds to make an emerald party and throw all my emeralds all over the ground. I spent day 73 to 75 looking for an unbreaking and a mending book. I got really unlucky, but by the end I had them both, and it wasn't all bad, as I also got some good books such as Protection 4, Feather Falling 4, and Looting 3. I spent day 76 trading my potatoes and carrots so I can get enough emeralds to buy an unbreaking and a mending book. By the end of day 76, I had the best elytra in the game. From day 77 to 84, I decided to do some base work. So I built a massive lake in the middle of my area, and as I waited for the kelp to grow, I built a bridge over the lake as I thought it'd be a nice addition. On days 85 to 86, I traded with my villagers, and I bought some mending books, and I put them on my armor. I fished, and I got some cool items such as a name tag and a pufferfish, which I would need for water breathing potions in the future. On day 90 to 94, I explored my world a little bit. I got insanely lucky and found some new biomes, including a gravel mountain, which I would need for concrete, and I also found an ice spike biome, and I got super lucky and found a badlands right next to the ice biome. Blocks from the Bandland would be really useful for the end project that I have in mind, which you guys will see later in the series. On day 97, I got prepared for the Wither fight, so I put some enchantment books on my armor, and I got some potions, and I was ready to go. I said my goodbyes to my villagers and also my animals, as I didn't know if I would see this world again. This fight was about to be the most intense fight yet. I placed down the soul sand for the wither, and I placed 2 skulls down. I took one last deep breath before I put the last skull down. Put my chest plate on, and there it was. I spawned the wither, and instantly it looked dangerous. I was able to get it down to half health with a few bow shots. So I then drank a strength potion, and I started using my sword to do massive amounts of damage to the wither. And with the last hit, the wither died, and the nether star dropped from its body. I picked up the nether star and held it in my hand, and I felt victorious. I rushed back up onto my base on day 100 to craft the beacon. I placed it down on 9 iron blocks, and I used an iron ingot to power it. I put speed on the beacon, and I got the advancement. I spent the rest of day 100 looking around my area, and there it was. I had survived 100 days in hardcore Minecraft survival. If you did enjoy these 100 days, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below what I could do for 200 days. And I guess that's it from me. I will see you all in 200 days. Peace out.